Hello friends, welcome to Anirban's World of Digital Finance powered by S4Hana, and this is Anirban here. Today would be the 50th video. Yes, today would be the 50th video where we'll be discussing about the tolerance group. How to configure tolerance group. This is a configuration video and we are going to discuss about how to configure tolerance group for employees, for GL and for vendor and customer. Okay, so with that, let's start sharing the screen and I hope you are able to see the screen. Yes, so this is what we are talking about. This is a 50th video, SAP S4HANA FICO module 50th video, and configure tolerance limits. And as mentioned, this is a configuration video. And we are going to configure tolerance for employees, for GL, and for customer and vendor. If you look back in time, we have we have covered several chapters, which starts from enterprise structure, fiscal year variant, posting period variant. We discussed about documents classification and splitting. We discussed about controlling area, profit center and cost center configuration. And then we discussed about currencies. We discussed about the master data of customer and vendor through business partner module. And then we discussed about document entry and the parameters which controls the document entry, mainly the posting keys and so on. And then we discussed how to assign fiscal year, default fiscal year, and value date. And then the previous video we have discussed about taxes on sales and purchases, and current chapter would be on tolerance limit. So guys, if you haven't like refer to this video, please feel free to refer to the playlist and watch these videos. All right, and share it with your friends and subscribe to the channel. So with that, if we scroll to the left side, we will see that this is the menu path which we will be discussing in details once we log into SAP. The type is configuration, and these are the T codes that are mentioned, and these are the various activities that we are going to do. All right, so with that, let's log into SAP S4HANA 2020. Okay, so this is SAP S4HANA, and I'm logging in there. Okay, now we'll go to SPRO, SAP reference IMG, financial accounting, general ledger accounting, business transaction, and then open item clearing, clearing differences. And here, if you see employees, if you see these are the employees, these are the nodes for employees, right? So define tolerance group of employees. So this is where we are first going to go, and then we will check for our company code, which is HKNM. So if you see there is a blank company code, and it is mentioned over here. What it basically talks about, it talks about for an employee. So in this case, the user, how much amount he can post in a single document, and what are the limit per line item. So if you discussed in this document entry, the header level and the line level, right? For each one of the line item in a accounts receivable or accounts payable, which is in FB60 or FB70, this is the limit that the person can post in each line item. And overall at a header level, right? This is the overall limit, right? So if I want to show you, let's go to FB60 for example. So this amount is the overall limit here amount. This is the maximum amount that a person can post. And this is actually is the amount at a line. And these are the line item level. Okay. So these are the two things that we are specifying here. And this is the maximum cash discount a person can, and the user, the employee can give. And these are the payment difference at a revenue and the expense, like when we are making the payment or where we are receiving the payment. These are the payment differences that we can allow. Okay, and these are the percentage. Okay, so this is highest of 10% or 10% or 100 GBP, whichever is lower. Lowest of the lower of the 10% or 100 GBP, whichever is lower, the person is eligible to accept that payment difference. Okay, so this is all about employees tolerance limit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a previously configured tolerance group for employees, and I'm going to copy that. So I will do ZAB1. Okay. Okay, this is already there. Okay, so this is already configured for HKNM. So let's see. So if we see that this amount is 30,000 for this user. So my username is Anirban01. So this is 30,000 for myself. So here I am able to post at a document level 30,000 and at a line item level 5,000, which means that at a line item level, if I won't be able to post 5,001 GBP. Or here it is, I won't be able to post more than 30,000 GBP. Else it will give me an error message. Okay, that I'm going to show you during the end user video after this. So so this is already configured, so I'm not going to do anything. Now what I'll do is that the next step is to assign this tolerance group to the users. So if you remember that my user ID is Anirban01. So I'm going to assign ZAB1 to Anirban01. So this is what I'm going to do. So it is already assigned if you see Anirban01 ZAB1. So which will limit my postings at the document header level and at the line item level to the limit which has been mentioned in the tolerance group, as well as it also limits the cash discount I'm able to give, also the payment difference that I'm going to able to accept under this user ID on Anirban01. Okay, so this is the how to configure the group as well as to assign it to the user ID. Now, what is the next step? So we're done with this. We are done with this. So we have defined the tolerance group and we have assigned the tolerance group. Now the third step is expense allowed difference GL clearing account. So this difference, okay, right? The difference where it should go. Like if I am allowing for a payment, the difference. So the difference, whether it is a expense or a income, it needs a GL for a difference to go, right? So we need to configure that as well. So how we can do that? So what we should do is that we should open a different session and we'll go to FS00. And what I'll do is that I'm going to simply copy two GL accounts. Okay. So I will go to system settings and I will change the company code because that's where I want to copy it from. So okay, so here what I'm going to do is if I go to P&L statement, sorry, not P&L statement, general GL accounts. So here if you see expense allowed difference and revenue allowed difference. Okay, so wherever there is an expense and there is a difference due to the tolerance which I am allowed during the payment, right? So if I go back here one more time, I'll go to ZAB1. I'll double click here. So this difference of 10% or 100 GBP, whichever is less, has to go somewhere, right? So this should go to these two GL accounts. So now you see this is in CC UK. This is a different company code. What I need to do is that I'm going to copy it in my my GL account, my company code. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select this simply, and I'm going to say copy. And I'll leave this GL account as it is. I won't make the changes here. All I'll do is I'll change it to HKN. Okay. So similarly, hello friends. So I'm back, and there was a power cut, and I got disconnected for a while. So what I'll do is I'm going to share the screen. I'm going to share the screen, and I'm going to log in back to SAP one more time, and I'll discuss what have been done and which the recording has not been done for that. So okay, I'm going back, and then I'll go to FS00. So I have completed these two steps. I mean these steps which are highlighted in green. I have defined the tolerance group for employees. I have defined I have assigned the users to the tolerance group. And then I have actually configured the two GL accounts to where to accumulate the expenses. What I have basically done is that I've copied it from another company code. So I'll show you exactly what I have done. So I'll go to FS00, and then I'll go to general ledger, and then I will go to these are the two accounts that I have actually copied from another company code. I'll show you what has is there, what are the properties of this. So I'll go here 3006. So both of these are non-operating expense on income, and both of these belong to general GL accounts. And these should go to profit and loss statements. I mean, this should go to retained earning accounts. The balance should be going to the retained earning accounts. This is a short text and a detailed text, which is pretty self-explanatory. I am as I am, like aligning to 4,000 for a group consolidation. Okay, and this is expense, I have assigned an expense account for group consolidation. And this is a currency, and then the balance in local currency has been ticked. And the field status group is G001, and that is all as of now for expense allowed difference. And the same thing, if I come back here for 6003, it's the same thing. Only difference is this revenue allowed difference is there. The name is different, and the group number, account number is 3000, which is like for consolidation purpose. We are using the revenue account. Okay, so this has been copied from another company code which I only have configured. Okay. Now coming back to going back to this tolerance group SPRO, I'll go to recipe reference IMG, and then financial accounting, then general ledger accounting. Sorry, it should be financial accounting, global setting, financial accounting. I think no. Let me check because those are a little create accounts for clearing. So this would be general ledger, financial accounting, general ledger accounting, right? So financial accounting, general ledger accounting, then business transactions, then open item clearing, then clearing differences. And now we have already defined the tolerance group for defined the tolerance group for employees. We have assigned the tolerance group to the user, and then we have and this I wanted to show you in case I don't remember whether I have discussed this. So this ZAB1, which is the tolerance group which has been assigned to our company code previously. I mean, I just wanted to show you one more time. So this one has been assigned to our tolerance group, and I have actually discussed in the previous video, which suddenly got disconnected, ZAB1. So here what we are doing is that we have actually assigned it to HKNN. Now what we are doing is we are going back, and now we have to assign it to the user, which means that Anirban01 is the username, and while this user is going to post, then like whatever we have seen, those restrictions, the tolerance limit would be applicable, which is probably 30,000 per document and 4,000 per line item. So, and cash discount of 5%. So, all those tolerance group would be applicable for Anirban 01. Okay, user. So that is how we are actually restricting, giving, assigning tolerance and restricting maximum limit of posting and maximum level of cash discount at the user level. So coming out, so these two has already been done, and now we are going to create accounts for clearing difference. Now our chart of accounts is Simba, and we have already created this the GL accounts where the differences or during the payment clearance would be debited and created respectively. So here we would be, like we have already created the chart, the GL accounts for to so expense account expense GL account clearing. So this the expense would be it would be in the debit side 30006 HKNM expense allowed difference GL clearing account. So this would come here, and the credit would be in the credit there would be revenue allowed difference GL clearing account. Okay, so this we are now assigned. Okay, and we are going to save it, and we will create a new request which will say we'll simply copy this, create accounts for clearing difference, create accounts, I would say, for clearing difference, clearly RANC, and then I'll say LNKG1. Okay, so I did this. Now going back here, so I'm also done with this. Now, if you remember that we have to now classify the document for our document splitting purpose. So what we have to do is that we have to go back, and then we will go to business transaction. We already here business transaction, document splitting, and classify GL accounts for document splitting. Yes, we are here. Now we have to take these two accounts. These two accounts. We will take this, and will create new entries, and in the category we will select just give me a moment. All right, so just give me a moment. So what I'll do is that I'll click on new entries, and I will select this one 6003 6003 and 6003 to 6003, and I'll select revenue. I'll select revenue. Okay, and the same thing I'll do 3006 expense allowed difference, and this one. So I'll take this, and I will take this as a revenue, as an expense, right? I'll take this as a 6,000 is a revenue, and this is an expense. Okay, I'll hit enter, and then what I'll do is that I'll save this. Okay, yes, and then I will create a request. Probably let me see, because document splitting should be there. I have done the document splitting before as well. Should document classification setting define document. Just give me a moment. So define number assignment for direction, define account groups, assign number ranges, document type mapping, variant, appendix number. Alright, so what I'll do is I will let's create a document splitting. LNKG1. Okay, and I save it. Okay, so with that, I am done with this classify document for document splitting. Now, what we'll do is that define tolerance group for GL accounts. So now what we'll do is that so we are done with the employees, and now we'll go to the for the GL account. So I'll go back. I'll scroll down because I'm already in this node, and here I am defining tolerance group for GL accounts. I click here, and then I click on the company code, which is HKNM, Hakuna Matata. And this is a standard example. If I see, okay, so this is the debit posting difference. So this is what is here. So this is a standard example. Let me see what is happened in CCUK. Define tolerance group. This is also blank. So this ZA B1 has been copied here. So what I'll do is that I'm going to open this, and I'm going to copy the same thing in our company code. So what I'll do, let me see what is the thing that we have given. So ZAB1 is a tolerance group for employees on Anirban 01, and then tolerance group for GL is TG, tolerance group for GL1. So what I will do, I'm going to copy it. CCUK, I'll replace it with HKNM, and ZAB1 we will replace it with TGG1. Okay, and I hit enter, and then I will save this, and I will name this as I'll simply copy the activity, define tolerance group for, sorry, yeah, this one classify documents, this one I'll take define tolerance group for GL accounts. So define tolerance group for GL accounts, and I'll name it LNKG1. So this is how we are actually defining the tolerance group for GL accounts. For debit posting, it is 300, and for credit posting, it's also 300. So once we are done with this, then we will go to customer and vendor tolerance limit. So we will go back, and now we will go to a different node. All this while we have been into GL account, into general ledger accounting. This node, financial accounting, general ledger accounting, will collapse this, and we'll go to accounts receivable and payable. Here we'll go to business transaction, and then we will go to open item clearing, clearing difference, and then we will go to define tolerance for customers and suppliers. If you go here, define tolerance for groups for customers and suppliers. This is where we are. Define tolerance group for customers and suppliers. Okay, now we go here and we take our company code, which is HKNM. Now, if you see, there are several there are several tolerance groups that has been assigned to it. So what we are going to do is that let's take this one because this is already because we have copied it from a standard company code HKNM. We have copied it from 0001. So the default tolerance group has been copied here. Okay. So what we will do is again we will copy the same thing for CCUK because we have done this once for CCUK. We have taken this one as a ZAB1. So we'll copy this ZAB1 and rename it as TGCV, which is tolerance group for customers and vendors. So I'll copy this, take this and copy this. And I will replace this as LNKG1. Sorry. I'll replace this as HKNM. And then the tolerance group is TGCV. I'm sorry for the background noise because what you see is the online tuition going on for my kids. Both the kids and the teacher are is very loud. Though I have closed the door, but you can still see the teacher yelling at my kids. Yeah, but she is a very effective one though. She is a very effective teacher. So I'm very thankful to her. So now instead of DCBA1, it would be LNKG1. LNKG1. So this is tolerance group for customer vendor LNKG1. So we will take this as tolerance group for customer vendor LNKG1 and I will keep these permanent payment difference of $300 as a revenue or 10% whichever is lower and loss of 100 GBP or 5% whichever is 0.5% whichever is lower. Okay, so all these things are already there. So what we are going to do is that we are going to accept this and we are going to hit enter. So in HKNM, we have copies this T tolerance group for customer and vendor. We have named this. And to avoid confusion, we are going to delete this because we don't need all this. We are not going to use this. Okay. So this is how we have assigned the tolerance group for the customer and the vendor. Now going back to the Ready Reckoner, let's see how far we have completed. So we have completed this as well. Now assign tolerance group to customer and vendor master data. So what we should do is that we should open another, and we have to remember this that we have to assign this TGCV. Okay, so you have to go to and open another this thing, and we will go to BP. Okay, and then we have to see take one of the customers which we have assigned 365107. 36510 will take 7 and let's see if it pulls anything. So yes, it has pulled EFGH Finance, EFGH Finance. We double click this and then we are going to click on this switch between display and change. So from display we are now in change. And then since this is a customer, so we have to go to FI customer to get the company code. Okay, tab. Okay, so now we click on the company code tab and go to customer payment transaction. And here is a tolerance group. Okay, so let's see what is the tolerance group that we have assigned here. So if we go back, we have assigned TGCV. TGCV we have assigned. So let's see if it is available. So blank is available, TGCV is not available. Let's see why it is not available. Right, so we were trying to save the tolerance group in this vendor and it was not getting saved. So I looked back and I saw that I didn't save the previous entry, the group, the tolerance group for the vendor customer was not saved. So now since I've saved it, so I'll show you one more time. If I go to a new session, for example, what was happening, what was the problem is, if I go back, SPR, and then financial accounting, accounts receivable, accounts payable, business transaction, open item clearing, clearing differences, and then define tolerance. Sorry, just give me a moment. So where I was, accounts receivable, accounts payable, and define tolerance for customers and suppliers. And I look for HKN, which is Hakuna Matata, our company code. So this TGCV, when I configured this, this was not saved. When I configured this, this was not saved, and so it was not showing in this drop down. But after I saved, now if I switch between display and change, and now I'm in now this is a customer, right? Now this is a customer, and I will go to FI customer. This will enable the company code tab. If I go to the company code tab and I go to payment transaction, you see this TGCV comes in the drop down menu, and this is now saved. Okay, so that way we save the tolerance group in the one of our customers. I'll say no here, and it's not required because I didn't make any changes in the first place. So now after that, so I'm done with this. So I have assigned a tolerance group to the customer and the vendor master data. So I only work with the customer. Later on, I can do the same thing. I mean, populate the same customer tolerance group for all the customers and all the vendors. But for this purpose, purpose of this video, I only populated it in one of the local customer, which is EFGH Finance. Now, the last portion, the last activity that needs to be done is define accounts for clearing difference. So what I will do, this has already been done. I'm just going to show you. I'll go to SPRO and I'll go to SAP reference IMG. I'll go to financial accounting. I'll go to accounts receivables, accounts payable, go to business transactions, and then I'll go to open item clearing, and then clearing differences. And the activity that I wanted to do is define accounts for clearing difference. Simba is my chart of accounts, and here if you see 057 is a calculation error that I have taken from this drop down menu. Okay, 057 is a calculation error, and if you remember that I have taken this expense account and the revenue account in debit and credit respectively. So 3006 we have already configured this HKNM expense allowed difference GL clearing amount. This was already configured, so I have actually plugged it here as well to calculate the differences. So I didn't make any changes. I actually populated it before only because there were some hiccups during the recording. There was a power cut and I got thrown out. So I decided to do this part, and so this you should do. So this took care of this one. The last thing I'm going to do is to show you a document entry. Okay. Where I will show how this tolerance comes into picture. Okay. The other thing that I wanted to show you is in FB60, if you see the refer to the blueprint, the tolerance group for GL is TGG1, which we have configured, TGG1. This you have to populate here in this expense 3006 and 6003. You have to populate this TGG1 in the tolerance group. This also you have to do. TGG1 you have to populate. All right, now we should go to FB60. So let's see. Let's go to /n FB60. And then we will take one vendor. So let's see which vendor we should take. Or probably, yes. We'll take this. It's taking some time. I will pause the recording. Sorry, so it is giving me a prompt that this vendor is not marked, is not there in CC UK, and I am in wrong company code. So what I have to do is first I have to change the company code, and then I will take this. So it is populated ZYXW. So this is ZYXW Finance. Now, since it's a vendor, so I'll take some expense. So let me take ERP implementation expense for LMKG1. I gave an amount of 5001. Let me see once what is there in tolerance group for employees. If I say take ZAB1 for HKNM, that this is 5000. Okay, line item is 5000. So intentionally to show the tolerance effect, I have populated 5001. Now since this is a vendor, so it should be input tax. So input tax is V1. Okay, and then I hit enter. All right, so what I'll do now is that I will populate this 5001 here, and I'll put it here, and I hit enter one more time. See, this is what it says. You may enter only amount up to 5000. So I means Anirban 01. So Anirban 01, it has been populated 5000. So this 5000 is a line item, and I have assigned this to Anirban 01, which is my user ID. Anirban 01 ZAB1, so it is the user ID. So it won't allow me to enter anything more than 5000. So this is how the tolerance group works. I hope you like the video. If you like the video, please click on like icon and share it with your friends. I know that there are certain hiccups in between, and I have taken this entire video in several bricks and I have to stitch them across. And after that, like I will be uploading into YouTube. And sorry for that, but it is all for some power cuts and some error messages which I had to fix. But having said that, I hope that overall you have understood the concept and like the video. If you have any question, please feel free to put your question in the comment section, and I will try to revert back if I know it. If I don't know it, I will definitely try to get the answer for you by asking people or the experts in the same area. All right. So with that, if you I'm ending the video. If you are yet to subscribe to the channel, please subscribe the channel. Thank you guys. Bye.